I have a theory. Because in animation, there is a higher degree of planning compared to, say, live action, more care and attention will go into what is being animated, so that the animators are not wasting their time. In Fafner Exodus, plenty of time went into the animation, it's all clear and it's all smooth, but nothing, absolutely nothing, went into the story or the characters. This whole series is like watching an above average painting dry. That said, this anime isn't completely shallow. There are a couple of interesting things about it. Things I wish they expanded on more, to the point where they just took over the whole series. Number one, and this is by far the most intriguing part of Fafner Exodus, the psychic stuff. At first, I thought it was just the man-made island that was drawing me in. I wondered about how it was made and the politics of such a lightly populated place, but as the series progressed, it was apparent that it was the psychic ideas overall that were the real star of the show. The island has a psychic core in the form of a human girl, who is the only character who says anything remotely interesting. Some of the mecha pilots are affected by psychic energy in strange ways, and there's even psychic ghosts. It's a shame that, despite there being an abundance of psychic power-related ideas, the anime stubbornly sees itself as simply a mecha drama, so it never really takes pride in all its fascinating ideas. Another element that kind of works is the different respective relationships seen with the parents of the three new mecha pilots. They're all different, they all have different dynamics, and the way the parents are connects with how their respective children are. For example, one of them is really intelligent, and it's subtly explained why he is that way. He's trying to get his parents' attention since they prefer his dead sister instead of him. The emotional family drama lasts for a few episodes, but it all gets buried under other things, thus forgotten about. If the anime had just focused on the emotional family drama, which would have been enough material for 12 episodes, everything would have had more focus and had more direction. Does Fafner Exodus have focus and direction? Hell no! First of all the characters are the same. They all look the same, they all act the same, to the point where I pretty much gave up trying to track who is who. The only character who stood out to me was Kanon, because she's the only one with red hair and has this strong, deep voice in the Japanese dub. This anime does not work as an ensemble cast anime due to the severe lack of diverse character design. Heck, there were these two characters who seemingly randomly appeared and suddenly got quite a chunk of screen time, and I had no idea who they were. Either they're randomly thrown in characters who are just made to look important, or they are part of the regular cast and I just couldn't differentiate them from the others until they got their own scene together. Now, I did have a little suspicion that lack of diversity would be a problem when I saw all the promotional material, but I wouldn't have minded so much if all the characters had different personalities. Which they don't! In what ways are Kanon and Sakura different personality-wise? In what ways are the core and the elderly lady different personality-wise? I'm aware that it's inevitable to an extent that anime characters can look the same, but it's not inevitable that anime personalities can all be the same. I would have even settled for stereotypes, something that helps me tell who is who. But no, the anime steps below that and offers us nothing in terms of unique characteristic traits. The biggest problem with this is that, since I don't care about anybody, the flashy mecha battles have no excitement. I have another question in terms of the ensemble. Who was the main character? Who? I thought the core was the main character as she has the most authority. but her character isn't strong enough to make her seem like leading material, and I am still wondering who is in charge overall 13 episodes later, and the series would have benefited extremely with some main character holding everything down and giving us someone to go through the journey with. If such a journey happened in the first place, because I have no idea what this series was about. The characters just do things because they feel like it. There's no setup and there's no execution in any of their actions. Some stay on the island, some leave the island to make friends with a new psychic energy, but they decide to go to a faraway base camp for some reason or another. And don't tell me that everything would be more clearer if I just watched the other Fafner anime, because I don't want to watch the other Fafner anime after seeing this garbage. But don't get me wrong, I don't hate this anime, it's just that, aside from all the psychic stuff, there is no reason whatsoever to watch this. Why was this anime made? Who would watch this? Who would be entertained by this? Every time something potentially interesting was about to flower, the anime just moves on from it like it meant nothing. I wondered why this Fafner in the Azure brand wasn't super hyped up before I watched this anime, but now that I've just seen how similar this is to watching an above average painting dry, I understand why there's a severe lack of hype. 1 star out of 5.